Growing up, I was always told that I looked older than I was. And as a young man, you would say that's a positive. But it actually done a lot more damage than it done good. This simple statement planted a seed of confusion into my mind because I was always looked at as an older man, but I never felt respected as an older man. And I believe this is a major issue in our society because the majority of men feel like they're being checklisted as men and that they're being watched and looked at as men, but they're not being respected as a man should be respected. And I was in the same boat until I learned how to master my presentation. If you're a young man who struggles to feel respected and struggles to feel like you have some sort of value, I highly recommend for you to continue to watch this video and learn how you can implement this simple skill into your own life. Hello guys and welcome to another video. There is no whiteboard today. I'm going straight off the cuff a little bit with a little bit of notes which I have on my phone which I've made for today's video. So when it comes to mastering your presentation, this is a topic that I've been thinking about for a very long time and something I've been dwelling on. For me, it used to just be about the way I dress because partly I was thinking mastering presentation just has to do with the way you are looked at and the way that you appeal to the modern society. But I went back and actually dwelled on some other topics and other things that I can actually implement into this video and say it's more than just the way you dress. And I've underlined and said there's 3 things that you need to be crucial of and try to improve in your life. One is your presence, the other is your articulation, and the other is your perception. And your clothing and the physical things more lean towards your perception. Your articulation, well, that's self-explanatory, is the way you speak. And then number 1 is your presence. So I'm going to go through this 3-tier list and explain these 3 things and give you some practical tips on what you can do to improve these things within your life so you can master your presentation and gain the respect that you deserve. So number 1 is presence. And presence is the way people say your aura. Growing up, we used to always look at, for example, superheroes like Batman and be like, we want to be like this person. But the main reason why the majority of young men look at Batman and say they want to be like him is because of his aura and his presentation, not just as Bruce Wayne, but also as Batman. And we'll be like, he looks amazing, he looks strong, he looks mighty, but he has that presence. He has a certain aura that when he's there, you just feel like, nah, this is a whole nother person. This is a whole nother Superman who you want to be like. And it sounds cliche, but you can actually be like that in the modern world. I'm not saying you're going to be there standing behind people saying, the Dark Knight Rises, all these sorts of things, no. But you can have a certain presence about you and a certain demeanor about you that people are like, hold on, this person's actually somebody who I should listen to and I should respect. And some of the crucial things for this is 1, your body language. I highly recommend for you to stop slouching. If you're watching this, I feel like you're probably slouching watching this. So now, sit up and actually fix your posture. Or when you are standing or when you're walking or when you're just out in public, keep a broadened back and stand straight up and stand tall like a man. Don't be looking down at the ground. That's another thing which is very important. It's about being on your phone. Even if you're on your phone in public, don't be on your phone like this. Try and just have it up so you can have your head up so you can look like a more, the term nowadays people use it, a more of a masculine man. You can look like an actual man. Because when you have your head down and your chin's to the ground and your body slouched, it's hard for someone to look at you and respect you. But when you have a more dominant physique and a more dominant posture, people will look at you and respect you. Number 2 is eye contact. Eye contact is a crucial thing when it comes to mastering your presence. And the main reason for this is if you're consistently looking left and talking away and looking over here, or you're looking over here when trying to talk to somebody over there, there's a couple of things that can happen. You can be seen as either disrespectful because you're not even giving the person the respect that you're looking them in the eye, or 2, you can be seen as you're nervous or shy in situation. I'm not saying you should be staring down the person's eye up in their face for the whole entire time when you're talking to them. Of course, you can take some time to look over here. Like when you see me inside the video, sometimes I look over here, sometimes I look over there, and I'm just processing my thoughts. I'm not directly looking into the camera, but I might look over here and process my thoughts to come back. But it's about staying centered as much as possible and maintaining eye contact because trust me, you will see a different level of change within your life. Like you even saw me there. I took some time to process what I was talking about and then come back to the center. But that level of respect that you have when you're looking someone dead in the eye, people will feel it. And they'll be like, hold on a minute, you have quite strong eye contact. And be like, wow, this is somebody who I can actually respect and somebody who I can actually focus towards and maybe work with. And that stems from you just having a good eye contact. And I know it's hard to do, but what you can do is practice looking at yourself in the mirror or practice maintaining eye contact with people who you're not scared to talk to or you're not nervous to talk to. Of course, if you come speak to, I don't know, the girl who you've been crushing on for God knows how long, or maybe you go talk to a person or another man who you respect highly, you'll feel nervous to talk to this person. But when you talk to your peers or when you talk to like maybe your family members or an elderly person or a child, you won't feel as scared to talk to this person And from then you can practice your eye contact and take it to the higher level of echelon people within your life who you are more nervous to talk to. Number 3 is controlled movements. So when I was younger as well, one of the things that I used to always do, which I believe led to me not having that level of respect, was I was doing this thing, I don't know if you can see, but my legs doing that like shaking thing. When you put your feet on, is it the heel of your foot? Not the heel, it's the point of your foot. And you bend your knees just flipping up and down like that. I used to always do that, and to me I was like, oh, I'm relieving stress or some other, I don't even know why I did it. I used to always do it. But when I look at it now, I say this person's quite anxious. This person doesn't have quite control over their emotions. That's how I see it now. That's what the perception I see from it now. So if you stop doing that, you will flip the script and be like, hold on a minute. People will be like, you actually are somebody who can be respected because you're not doing this fidgeting. You're not looking nervous. You're not looking anxious in situations. You were there maintaining a controlled level of movements, and you just look like a regular person, somebody who's actually happy to be in their environment. But you look at the people who don't do that and the people who are consistently fidgeting or shaking or looking anxious, and it's hard for you to respect them because you're saying this person is not quite certain where they are. So these are the certain things you can do to master your presence. Once you've mastered your presence, trust me, you'll start to see improvements in your life. Number 2, articulation. Now, when it comes to articulating yourself, it is very, very important. It is probably, out of the 3 things, I would say most important is, I think it goes from tier 3 up to tier 1. So perception is the most important. Tier 2, which is articulation, I think is the second most important, and tier 1 is your presence. But articulation is very, very important because no one's going to care what you say if you don't look the part. But once you look the part, if you can't speak, no one's going to care what you say afterwards as well, because they're not even going to understand you nor listen to you. So imagine I am just like this, and I came onto camera and I said, yo, my brodies, my family lambs, my guys, how are you guys doing, man? My brothers, man. Or if not even, those aren't even that bad, but like, how do people in the UK really speak? Like I first came and started using hard slang language, like you know what I'm talking about when I say slang. It would be hard for you to watch my videos and think, okay, I'm going to respect this person to another level, because the level of articulation which is missing. But when you come here with good articulation, that's not good articulation, but you come here with improved speech, you are pausing, you are controlling your sentences, you are coming back to the pocket, you are staying within that zone, you're not messing up as much. It's not like I'm egging myself on or boosting my own ego, but I'm trying to just explain articulation. When you come here well articulated, you are going to be more likely to be respected than if you are not. So, certain things you can do. Pause for impact. You can lower your vocal tonality, and you can slow down. So, one of the things which I used to struggle with a lot when I was younger is I used to speak really, really, really fast. And what I meant was, it means I was not as confident with what I was saying. And you may think, okay, if I say it fast, I can just get it done and go. But to a certain degree, you have a stronger impact when you talk slower, when you implement some pauses, and when you lower your tonality. If every single time I ended a sentence like this, you'll be thinking, huh? It just doesn't sound right. But when you end it like this, and you end it on a lower tone, it has a lot more better impact. It sounds strange when it's your first time thinking about these things, but if you go watch any movie, or you listen to any podcast, or you follow any man who you can see and respect this person as a more masculine man, or however you may use the term for this person, if you go and listen to this person, you will see that the majority of his sentences end on a lower tone. Listen to, for example, I'm going to re-reference Batman. Listen to his tone. How low is his tone? But people laugh at the voice sometimes, because obviously it's such a hyperbole that the tone is very, very low. But to a certain degree, it is low and it earns respect. So you want to have a lower tone. You want to try and improve your tone. I'm not saying force the deep voice. Like when I was younger, I used to force and be like, yo, 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 da. No. But every single person can either talk from the nose or talk from the chest. I think it's no, talk from the chest or talk from the throat. So if you talk from the throat, it's most likely going to be a little bit louder and projected better. But when you talk from the chest, it's deeper, you take deeper breaths, and it sounds a lot better. So you want to articulate yourself through breathing and talking through the chest. So some of the things that I've done to improve my articulation, I went through, and it sounds annoying and it sounds long, but trust me, it will improve your articulation. I went and listened to so many podcasts, videos, documentaries of well-respected men who I liked and I loved the way they articulated themselves. Elle Nightingale, Jim Rohn, David Attenborough, and Morgan Freeman. I went to go listen to the way these people speak, mainly Elle Nightingale. I went and listened to the way they speak, and I repeated exactly what they said in the exact tone that they did it. It's annoying, it does sound quite tedious, But once you've built that muscle memory within your mouth and within your mind that this is where you should be speaking, you will see drastic improvements in your articulation. You can also go there and record yourself. Like, for example, one thing I used to do early doors as well was, as I come and record myself, I'll go back and watch my videos and be like, okay then, I messed up here, I stumbled here, maybe I can improve this, maybe I can improve that. That helps a lot. These are small things you can do. Do them because they will drastically improve your articulation. And then finally, perception. Now, perception is the main bulk and the main reason for this video, which is one of the most forgotten arts, especially in like London and the UK, because I just literally got back from Paris and I saw this in Paris, and it is one of the reasons why I respect Paris so much. And I'm even going to throw in a quote. It's not even really of a quote, but I had a conversation with my friends. Me and her went out for dinner with one of my other friends, and we were talking, and she was speaking about dressing, and I can't remember why I was talking about dressing. I know, so I said to her, I love Paris and I love the fact that people dress so well here. And she said, it's of course, because one of the main reasons why people dress so well here is because you never know who you will see. Because Paris is such a place where it's so big on community that anyone and everywhere are everywhere, you could realistically go to a random restaurant and be sat next to President Macron. Or you could be sitting next to some celebrity, because everyone indulges in the culture of just being out and being with everyone. So it is important and imperative that you master your perception and that you try to dress well as frequently as possible. Of course, sometimes you'll be tired. Of course, sometimes you will be lazy. And she said the only time that you really, really do it is when you are really, really lazy. She said even if she's going to drop her sister from her house to school, she will dress well. Now, that's the mindset that I believe is forgotten in England and forgotten in the US. But if you take that mindset and like, hold on, it's quite annoying. Like, for example, you would think I'm going out. Yesterday, I was wearing like a similar fit, but something a little bit more casual. Just rather than a shirt, it was a t-shirt. And I was going to the gym. One of my friends was like, oh, where are you going? And where'd you come from? I said, home. He was like, home. And I understand why he made that reaction, because I'm dressed well coming from my house. It's quite irregular inside of London. But it's something that will take you to that next level. I'm not saying, okay, if you start dressing well, you're going to start making 10K a month. Or if you start dressing well, people are going to bow at your feet. No. But there's a certain level of respect that you will receive initially and innately just because of the way you dress, but just because of the way you look. People will take you more seriously. People want to be around you more. If I recorded this video in a full tracksuit, a blacked out tracksuit with a do-rag on and a ballet on my face, would you take me as serious? No. But because I'm dressing the way I dress and I look the way I look and I'm speaking the way I speak, you take me a lot more serious than you would have if I didn't. So ensure you master your perception by dressing with purpose. Try, I know it's annoying and I know it's long. You're going to be ironing 2 sets of clothes. Like, I've ironed this clothes and I've ironed my gym clothes in my bag. And I'm going to have to carry my gym bag rather than my gym bag just being empty and I can just maybe carry my water bottle, my skipping rope. I have my spare gym clothes inside of it. Not even my spare clothes, my actual gym clothes in my bag. And I'm going to walk there. It's long, but trust me, it is worth it, because it'll build up that resilience and that discipline to say, no matter what I'm going through, I will dress well. So when I get put in a better echelon of life, where I can be driving around, where I can be, it's a lot more convenient for me to choose the easier option, I will still choose this option because I've done it when it was a lot harder for me to do it. And it's just building up that discipline. Additionally, create your online presence. Not create, but also create, so like nurture it. Because a lot of people don't have an online presence in the slightest. And one thing I did, if I didn't really know you like in person, I removed a lot of the non-profile picture Instagram accounts. Because for me, if you don't create, I'm not saying every single person should create content, but there's a certain level that to a certain degree, you do need an online presence. As much as there's certain industries where you don't need it, and there's certain people who just don't have it, an online presence is imperative. As we can see where the world is just heading. The majority of people are leaning towards creating personal brands, because having an online presence is crucial. You may not think it's crucial, but in the next 5 to 10 years, trust me, you'll understand, it is very crucial to have an online brand, or just have an online presence. And it will help your perception. Because people, rather than just looking at, back in the day, people that used to have their business cards, like a lot of you may have known about, not even may have known, you definitely know about American Psycho, and how they hand out their business cards. You would have Patrick Bateman giving out his, and they'll be like, oh, let's see Paul Allen's business card. The modern day business card is your online presence and social media accounts. You don't have to go out there and make a fool of yourself online, but just be seen as someone who actually respects themselves. Rather than going out there taking photos, I'm not going to send shots to the people, but I know a couple of you guys have photos of you at the bar or at the pub with your guys with the big photo and a group selfie or something like that, where you're looking completely wasted. If that's how you want to be seen, don't complain about not being respected by a certain level of people. If you want to be respected, have your online presence reflecting somebody who will be respected. What you can do, which is something I've done, I went and looked at David Gandhi, David Beckham. I went and looked at old Chris Evans before he finished Captain America. There are so many other great actors or just men that you can just go look at and look at their online social presence and be like, hold on a minute, let me learn from them. Because clearly they have a certain level of respect in society. Let me try and implement this into my life. And you will start to see you'll be a lot more respected than any other life thing that you've been doing in your life. The amount of people who come up to me and say they've watched my content, or they see my content, and instantly I can feel the respect from them. It's because they are seeing my online presence and saying, okay, I'm going to respect this person as a man in person. I was doing cardio around 3-4 weeks ago. Somebody came up to me. I'm not going to say his name, but trust me, bro, I remember your name. And he was like to me, I've been watching your content, bro. I love what you're doing. I love that I'm seeing someone from the ends doing this. Ends is like someone from the area creating content and promoting self-help and personal discipline and all these other things. Instantly, he's come to me with respect because he's seen me online. Now, so many people won't respect you because they don't know who you are. But if you build up a foundation and you just put yourself out there and you put yourself, I'm not saying come and live like one of those, what's the word? Where it's like you're living a fake life, where you're living a life that you're not actually living. I'm not saying go force yourself to go do things where you're not actually ever doing. But just try and get some nice photos. Maybe when you go out with your friends, try and go to better locations rather than going to the pub. Go to, I don't know, like a gallery, go to like a cafe spot, go to a coffee spot, or go somewhere nice. Take like a nice photo where you're looking nice and you're looking clean and just post it. And you'll see it'll go very far for you. And then finally, communication. Don't try and seek approval. Just literally be you. And when people come speak to you, you speak to them. Of course, it's important to be kind and nurture friendships, because I do the same thing when you are nurturing friendships and you want to be a kind person. But don't go over the top. Don't be forcing it. Don't be trying to be that person who's always in everyone's life and knows everyone's business, because you will not be respected. So, those are the main things. Master your presence, master your articulation, and master your perception. And you will see your presentation as a whole improve drastically. Thank you for watching today's video, guys. If you enjoyed, click the links in my description and join my free school community to get better and even more in-depth tips.